You hear that? So good. Okay everybody, today we are going to make roast pork siu yok. Okay, if you want to impress your mother-in-law during Chinese New Year, this is the dish to make. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is to choose a cut of good pork belly. Okay, so the secret to choosing a good pork belly is you want something like that. Okay, something that gives you good layers of fat and meat. Okay, please don't choose a pork belly that it has too little fat, because you're gonna end up with dry roast pork, and eating dry roast pork is bad for your mental health. Okay, so please don't choose something with too little fat. If you think this is, oh my goodness, so unhealthy, so bad for you, then just eat less. Okay, don't choose a pork belly that has no fat or little fat, because it is just a total waste of your time. Okay? Okay, so the first step that we're going to do is really more for aesthetic reasons. Okay, what I will do, what I usually like to do when I make roast pork, is to boil it in some hot water first, and this is for aesthetic reasons, because what it does to the pork is that it shrinks the skin, okay, so that the shape becomes fixed, and when you roast it, you get a very nice slab of roast pork. Okay, rather than if you don't do this step, you can still make a pretty good roast pork, but the shape of the meat, the slab of meat, when it comes out of the oven, is going to be wrinkly and will be quite out of shape. Okay, but it'll still taste good. Okay, so this is just an extra step that I do for aesthetic reasons. Okay, let's take a look at how I do this. Okay, so what we do is we put the pork skin side down directly into the water, and I'm going to use this spatula to press it. Okay, the reason for pressing it is just to ensure that the skin is flat and that it holds its shape later when roasting. Okay, you don't need to do this for very long, you don't need to cook it through, you just need for the proteins in the skin to shrink and hold its shape later during roasting. Okay, so what I like to do at this point, after that is done, is to just kind of flip it around and to just cook the outside of the other side. Done. Let's take it out and put it onto the plate. Okay, so now the next step is to prepare the pork for the seasoning. Okay, what we want to do, the first thing is, you can take, if you have one of these things, this is to create holes in the skin of the pork. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just stab the pork with all your might and let out all your anger at your boss. Okay, you can pretend this is your boss's face, and then you just kind of stab. Okay, you want to create as many holes in the pork skin as possible, so that later when it cooks, it's going to bubble up and it's become very nice and crispy. Okay, next thing we'll do is we're gonna score the bottom side of the pork, so that we have a bit more grooves for the seasoning. Okay, and what we want to do is you want to score against the grain. Okay, so you get more seasoning in it later on. Okay, so don't need to be very deep, just some simple cuts like this. Okay, just to give it more room for the seasoning to penetrate. Okay, and now we're going to make the marinade for the meat. Okay, so over here I've got a bit of salt. Okay, and a key ingredient in making good roast pork is actually this. This is 五香粉 or 5-spice powder. Okay, you can just use a little tiny bit just to give it a very nice flavor. Quick tip, when you're buying 五香粉, there are a lot of commercial brands that you can get at the supermarkets, but those are not so nice because they are quite harsh. What I like to do is just to go to the Chinese medicinal shops, and usually they are able to kind of put it together for you, and it's really this is much milder and much more aromatic. Okay, so this is this is salt and 五香粉. Okay, we're gonna mix it up a bit. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a bit of Chinese wine. Okay, this is going to help to get rid of the porky smell in the pork. a bit of oil. Okay, this will help to maintain the moisture in the pork when you roast it. Okay, some water. Okay, this is to just make the paste come together. And the last thing we're gonna add is this thing. This is fermented bean curd. Okay, we call it fuzu. Okay, yeah. So for this size of pork, just 1 cube will do. Okay, just mash it all up and make the paste. Okay, and then we are going to put it onto the pork. Okay, we're gonna do it to the underside. Okay, so flip it around and just spoon the marinade on top of it. Okay, so now we're almost done. You'll notice that the skin is actually a little bit wet, okay, because of all the sauces and all that just now. So what you want to do is just take a piece of kitchen towel, just dab the skin dry, so that later on when it rolls, it's going to be much easier to crisp up. Okay, then what we're going to do is going to put this in a little aluminum foil tray that I make manually. What you want to do is just fold it up like this. Okay, and just make sure that it becomes a tray that is going to help the pork hold its shape. So another reason for doing this, apart from getting the pork to hold its shape, is that because the sides are covered up, it will steam inside the tray, and you get pork that will stay relatively moist as well while it crisps up on the outside. Okay, so this is all there is with regards to the preparation of the pork, and now we'll just let the oven or the air fryer do all the hard work. See you later. Okay, so now that the air fryer is preheated to 120 degrees, we're going to put the roast pork in for its first round of roasting. Okay, so this is going to be about 25 minutes for the first round. This is after the first round roasting at 120 degrees for about 25 minutes. This is really just to cook the pork. Okay, I'm going to put it in for the second round now at 180 degrees for about 15 minutes, and this is going to brown the pork. Okay, so now you can see that it's quite brown already after the second roast. Now we're going to put it in for the third roast at 240 degrees just to char the skin, and you should see the skin bubbling up and becoming really crispy. So 240 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let's set 15 minutes and go by sight. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes now, so let's have a look at how the meat is doing. Oh, look at that. Very nice, very nice. So, have a look at this. You can see that the top of the skin is nicely puffed up. Okay, so this is the layer that we are going to scrape off later after it cools, so that you get a nice crispy shattering layer of skin. Come, let's hear. Wow, can you hear that sound? Crispy, huh? Come, show you. Okay, scrape the top layer of the skin. All the puffy bits. The puffy bits is the top layer of the skin that causes it to be very chewy. Okay, so by scraping this off, you are gonna have a very nice crispy skin. Okay, now for the moment of truth. We are going to cut into the roast pork. Right. Look at that. Oh, can you hear that crack? Look at how beautiful this is. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. So good. So this Chinese New Year, if you want to impress your mother-in-law, you know what to do.